Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching a special edition of Foodcaster. Today we have Goslin A. Piper. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Thanks for inviting me. Honored to be here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So, we're talking about food. We're talking about good thoughts.
Yeah.
Eating good thoughts.
Yes. So, I mean...
First of all, how did you even get to that title?
I know, actually.
Because you hear people say food for thought.
Food for thoughts, but
Right.
eating good thoughts. Because,
Right.
when you're cooking, you should have good thoughts and be, so that people can enjoy your food. So you wouldn't cook it with, negative thoughts or negative working. So when you eat with a pleasure and you digest better, I think, if you have good thoughts while you're preparing it
Right.
and when you're eating it. But I did get the name of the book came from my son, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I think we were talking about eating. Something came up about good thoughts. And then he says, eating good thoughts. And he said, why don't you call it eating good thoughts? I said, that's not a bad name.
Not at all.
Not at all. So that's how I end up with eating good thoughts. And so I have to give him a little credit for helping me get into the name of the book. Because I was like, what should I call it? Just eating? And that's how I end up eating good thoughts.
So let's give the audience a little bit about your background.
Okay.
So you're from Trinidad.
Yes, I actually was born in a little island called St. Vincent, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, and then my parents moved to Trinidad.
Okay.
And I went to elementary school, high school, everything in Trinidad. So I got to Trinidad, I was pretty young, maybe, I don't know, 8, 9 years old or so. And, in those days, Trinidad was booming with all the oil and everything. And my parents decided they're going to go to Trinidad to get some of that from St. Vincent.
Okay.
And that's how we ended up there. So I was in Trinidad after high school, then I got married, and then I came up here to America. Yeah.
Now, you're also an educator as well as a writer.
As well as a writer, yes. I've taught elementary school for many years. I'm retired from elementary school now, though, but I teach college right now. I'm an adjunct professor in a college right now, teaching my favorite thing, reading, which is why I end up writing this book, because I love to read. I
Right.
love to read. When I see a book or anything written, like I'm sitting here, I'm ready to read. I love to read.
Right.
So I thought about it. If you love to read so much, write your own book so you can read it and other people can read it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what's so interesting? So I've noticed definitely throughout the years, you always talk about, politics is very sensitive.
Right.
Religion is very sensitive.
Right.
Sex, very
Very
sensitive.
sensitive, right.
I'm starting to realize food,
Could be very sensitive.
very
too.
sensitive.
Yeah, because today the food it's becoming political in a sort of a way. People want the kind of food you're getting now. You're not sure if it's real food, if it's
Right.
good food, and so people are eating food that may not be real.
Okay.
So you have to be vigilant now when you go food shopping. And we have to research now to make sure you're eating quality food, and food that may be not so much organic, but natural and healthy for you. That does something to your body, because you might be eating and the food has nothing in it. So then you're really not treating your body with something with good nutrition. So that's why I wrote this book, so that you will, for people who want to make a lifestyle change, to eat better and do better things for their body. This book actually helps you to get to that point, and with other things involved too. But this is for a good start for anybody who really want to make a good start. Because a lot of people, they want to make a conscious start, but they don't know where to start from.
So when you talk about start
eating right.
Well, was there a specific event,
Right.
or something personal that might have said, "Hey, I really got to get this information out there"? Like, what was it?
Well, I see a lot of people getting sick, even like my husband, who started off with a little thing like hypertension, then next thing you know is diabetes, the next thing is the heart isn't working well. And I'm saying, it seems like something is wrong here. Why is all these medication and not, there has to be something else? So I start researching. And knowing, coming from the Caribbean, we didn't go to the doctors that often. You know, the food was in the back of the house. You know, the medicine was in the back of the house.
Wow.
You go into the back of the house. You have a fever. Your mom run to the back of the house, and she gets some fever grass, and in 2 minutes the fever is gone.
Wow.
She has things like lime, the bud of a lime. You know, she would take some of that, boil it, and something else is gone. You have a cold, she had something for it in the back, you know, in the yard, in the backyard. So I said, having a pill is not really the answer here. I think I have to go back to how my parents used to, you know, to work. And so I decided, one day I was going downtown Brooklyn, and I saw this book called African Holistic Health or something like that.
Right.
And I took that and I picked it. I said, this is exactly what we do in the islands. Everything he was talking about, all the herbs and all the, you know, the food. And I said, what, you know, that was the end of fast food for me, or the end of all that snack for me. I said, I have to start a different life. Yeah. Yeah.
So what was the process as far as doing research?
Okay, so one of the things that happened actually while I had just started teaching, and I met this girl, and I noticed she was walking around with water all day and stuff like that. So I was telling her about that book that I saw, and she says, oh, I know the person who wrote this book. Right. So I said, oh, maybe you should introduce. She says, anytime he's in town, I'll let you know. So he did come in town, and she did introduce me to him and all that. And that was the beginning, the real big beginning. I knew what to do before because of coming from the islands, but I got so caught up here with all the, you know, running to the doctor and all of that. I figured this was the right thing. So after I met her and this guy who wrote this book and all that, I started moving away from those things. I mean, I think there's a place for those things, of course, for emergency or things like that. But prevention is important. And also, you know, if it get to that point, the natural way for me works a lot better than, you know, the constant medication or something like that.
And I'm just going to, you could Google it and it comes right up. Eating Good Thoughts. So that's great. Okay. You started writing this book. Were there particular obstacles or any, I guess your own personal growing curve, you know, in the process of creating this book?
Like any sort of negative things?
Any negative things or things like, wow, I didn't know that, or?
Yeah, well, there's some things that...
Because this is your first book.
This is my first book. I was writing little things like essays and all that, but when it came to a book, I had... I took a course with the integrative... what do you call that thing? Let me make sure I remember what it is. I don't want to forget. Integrative medicine is called... where is it here? I took the course with them, Institute of Integrative Nutrition. I'd taken a course with them on to even expand my, you know, my experience in the natural way of life, natural foods or what have you. And I've heard everybody talking about, oh, I wrote a book. So I said to myself, you know what, I'm going to write one myself also. And write of my experience, you know. But, you know, you have the people who says, oh, nobody's going to buy a book, or people don't change. You know, you hear that. People don't change. If they're eating, that's the way they're eating. If their parents are eating that way, that's the way they're eating. But that didn't happen. Many people are sort of can relate to it, especially the people from the South, the Caribbean people. They can relate to this because this is how they used to eat.
It's interesting. I had a conversation with a cousin, and he made some interesting statements. He started studying Dr. Sebi.
Okay,
and talking about, well, a polar bear, and then you have a gorilla. Polar bear doesn't, you know, pretty much has a very, like, usually fish, and vegetables, whatever they can get at. And then you have a gorilla, you know, but neither of them are eating a lot of red meat. Right. But they're very strong. But they have totally two different diets. Now, when I bring up Dr. Sibi, he was talking about people of different cultural backgrounds that you really have to eat how your ancestors would eat because of your genetic makeup. Is there any truth to that?
Yes,
in your opinion?
Say, because people said to me, "Oh, you're a vegetarian, but what do you eat?" I hear that all the time, and they would say, "Oh, I can't live without chicken. I can't live without my meat. I love meat."
Right.
But I remember one day I went to the store and I was looking for something to eat, and I went to this. I think it was a Muslim store or something, and I got there and I had my dreads, which was much longer. So I asked him. I wanted. I think it was a beef sandwich or something.
Right.
And he looked at me and he says, "If you have all that dreads and everything, why are you eating beef?"
Interesting.
I never thought about it. He says, the people that's the whole idea of, going natural, and you don't need beef. He says, the cows, do you see they're eating meat and you eat them? He says, but they have all the muscles, they're big.
Right.
He says, they don't need meat, so you probably don't meat. And that caught me right away. I said, why am I really eating meat? And my son was telling me that all along. Anyway, stop eating that meat, Ma, stop eating that meat. And that was it for me. I just decided, you know what? I really don't need meat. And this is many, many years now. I haven't touched, meat because I feel that you get just enough protein.
Now, wait, I'm going to argue with you. I need my meat, man.
You get
I need my blood. I need meat. I need something that was killed.
You hear that all the time.
Yeah.
But people, people who eat... They claim, I don't know how true this is, but through experiences and science or whatever, meat stays so long in your body and takes so long to digest. When you eat vegetables, you still get the same amount of protein, and it goes straight to your body. You get the fiber, you get your enzymes, and most people end up being more healthy.
But my great-grandpappy lived to 112, and he ate meat and pork and... and he was great. What do you have to say to that?
But you know what? The funny thing is that I noticed when we were growing up, my grandparents, we had meat only on a weekend.
Oh.
We had meat maybe Friday. My grandmother would cook fish. Okay, fish was the big Friday.
Right.
Saturday, she might make a soup, maybe with, I don't know, maybe some part of the pig, cow heels or whatever soup. And then Sunday we had meat, maybe cow. That was all the meat. From Monday to Thursday, it was vegetables or beans. You had your lentil, you had your whatever your callaloo maybe, or your bhaji, maybe a little saltfish here and there. But we didn't eat all that much meat. As here, we eat meat every day. I don't know if that's a good thing, but I don't want to do that every day.
Well, I've also, heard of stories, from the islands, larger families, right? So when they had a chicken, you're lucky if you get a wing.
Absolutely.
Or you weren't eating the whole chicken.
No, because they might kill a chicken today, and your dad or granddad would get the chest. He gets the best part of it. And the rest of the chicken is cut up for 9 people. My parents, they had 9 kids, so it was all cut up to that. You're lucky if you get the thigh, which is not everybody wanted that, but you can't. There's only 2 of them.
Right.
Here, you can get any amount of thighs you want, any amount of wings.
$5.99.
You could get any part of the chicken you want. You could get. When I got here and I saw that, I was like, "Oh, wonderful!" But then I realized, that's not wonderful.
So that's what this book is about. Is it about remedies as well as what?
Yes, I also have some remedies in here, natural remedies for certain things. I also have some recipes, like I have some recipes for roasted coconut bake recipe. That's when you want to make, we call it bake, people call it maybe fried dumplings. You can call it roasted bake, or you could fry it, you could roast it. I have some recipes in here. I also have some of the herbal things that I have used for myself that worked for me, and maybe some that worked for other people after doing a little research, other people who told me how to, what they have used and worked for them. I have about juicing, because juicing is is one of the best things you could do for your life is juicing. Many cancer patients have used juicing and have reversed their cancers with good juicing. I have some of that in here. I have
now, is this expensive? Because
juicing,
just in general, just eating vegetables and fruits and. Well, actually, what is the diet and how expensive? Maybe let's do it that way. What would you be eating on a regular basis, and how expensive is that?
Okay, I would imagine people might say, "Oh, organic is so expensive." You really don't need a lot. Portion control is the key today.
Okay.
I feel that if you expand the stomach to eat a lot, it would keep expanding. You'll want more and more. But if you sort of curb it a little bit, portion control is important. So a good salad with all the things that you need could be in one good salad.
Okay.
And that would be like a raw meal for you, and raw is very important. So you put everything in there. You could still put your little chicken if you want your organic chicken or whatever meat you still like, a little bit in there, and you can put all the other things, your nuts, your seeds, everything could go in your salad. So if you were to buy you go and you want organic, and everybody say organic is so expensive. You don't need a lot. So people think they need a lot. You buy a lot of vegetables, and next thing is in the refrigerator, sitting there, spoiling.
Right.
So you don't need a lot. You might need today, if you have, you decide to buy lettuce, you decide to buy maybe 3 or 4 vegetables. Work with that for a while, and then move on to a different kind, and keep a little color, some carrots there or whatever. So you really don't need a lot. People think that organic is so expensive, and it's so much to buy. In the mornings, a nice oatmeal. Make from scratch is just enough,
Okay.
And lunchtime, a nice big salad is enough. And in the evening, like in the islands, I go back to that. We had a cup of tea, maybe a slice of organic bread, maybe some Ezekiel bread or something like that. You don't need any more, because if you eat too much in the evening, then you can't sleep, and then it sits on your stomach. So
now, how many years have you been eating like this?
Oh my God, endless years. Yeah, I can't. I would say 20 plus years now. I've gone back to eating, and we go home to go to Trinidad every once in a while. And when we go back, you have to go back, because lunchtime is your big meal there.
Okay.
It's still like that. It hasn't changed. And in the evening, 4, 5, 6 o'clock is still a cup of tea. And it's changing a little bit, because everybody wants to do the way America does things. So you can find the barbecue in the evening.
Well, one thing I have to say, at the Kentucky Fried Chicken
King
is they actually clean it. And there's actually spices and giblets and real flavor.
Yeah.
Now, I don't eat chicken anymore.
Yeah.
But of the last time that I did over there, I was so surprised.
Yeah, I think they season it the Trinidad style.
They actually
and that's why a lot of people love it. They say when they go down, people bring it back up. I've seen it on the plane, a bucket sitting on the shelves. Right. Yeah, because they say it tastes a lot better. I don't know. Wow. I've never had it, but I've heard a lot about it. They love it. So KFC. Wow. Yeah, I guess it's king. Go. Yeah, it's king with the chicken.
So you don't eat chicken?
No, I don't eat chicken.
You don't eat any pork?
No, I don't eat pork.
No red meat?
And no red meat.
Okay.
We have like a little ritual in the family once, maybe in a year. Okay. We go to, I shouldn't say the name of the place, but we have that pastrami.
Don't give them any money.
I know. And we have that pastrami, and I just enjoy it, and that's it. Yeah.
But once a year.
Once a year.
Once a year.
Sometimes it takes 2 years before, because last year we didn't do it. So once a year, I like to indulge.
Now, do you eat fish?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I eat
now,
fish.
why fish? Because some, they're hardcore vegans.
Yeah, they wouldn't eat fish. My son doesn't eat fish or eggs. I still have an egg. I still have the.
That would be very upset with that.
Yeah, I know.
And for those that do not know, that's called being a pescatarian.
Okay. Yes.
Because a lot of people don't know.
They don't know. Yeah. Because there's so many different ways. Now, there's some people who are fruitarian. I have that in my book. They eat just the fruit of things.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but fruit is not just that sweet fruit that we eat, the mangoes and the things like that. Fruit is also your tomatoes and your cucumbers and anything that grow above and produce something. That's a fruit.
Wow.
So if you're a fruitarian, you still have sort of vegetables in there, but you eat mostly fruit. There are lots of fruitarian. And then you have the people who just eat raw all the time.
Is that healthy? Because I hear different versions of that where people say that is not good. Because you need the...
you need something warm in your body, I've heard.
And then even with the, what's it called? The juicing, you need the roughage.
Okay, so that's why I juice and I also make smoothies because the juice gives you the enzyme which you really need for your body to make your body more immune to, diseases and what have you, and to also clear it. But then you also need the fiber. And that's where your smoothie comes in. That you have the fiber, because the fiber regulates your body. You have your bowels going nicely and everything, and cleans the skin and what have you. So you need the fiber. So I say I do them both. Yeah, and I eat it too raw. So eating is good.
But never too much of A or B.
Yeah, but
sometimes you do the raw, then you move to
the smoothie,
the juicing,
or you eat, and then but I've noticed a lot of natural doctors, they put you sometimes on juices for a few days straight, just juicing to get that juice to go through your body and heal you as quick as possible.
Which is so interesting because when you're in the hospital and they hook up the IV, it's to I'm just saying.
Put that through your body, You don't get food. You don't eat anything.
Wow.
So maybe the juicing.
Aha! Where's the camera? Aha!
The juicing is really the juicing probably is the thing. I have done juicing for myself for my health reason. Actually, I know about that. I had a little problem one time, and I went to my holistic doctor. And he did put me on a juicing for, I think it was like 21 days of just juicing.
Wow.
And knock wood, thank God it worked for me.
Wow.
I'm not saying it will work for everybody, but, it prevented me from having chemotherapy, so to speak.
Wow, yeah.
And that's many years ago, and I knock wood, many years ago. And I could say juicing is vital.
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing, yeah.
What do you want people to walk away with from this book?
I would like people to... first of all, enjoy the reading. Get to know how to eat a little better if you're not, or if you always wanted to, and you just keep putting it off and putting it off. I think this book will give you a good start, and it will also give you help how to do things if you're not sure of things, and it will get you to the next step of eating well or changing your lifestyle, or something you always wanted to do. I think this book will get you to that step. Yeah. Many people said it's been enjoyable. I think it is. And many people who've read it said they started reading it and didn't put it down until it was done. I remember a few people said, oh my God, I started one Saturday and I just couldn't move from the book. I just wanted to find out more and more. So I think that's going to happen to anyone who decided that they're going to read this book.
Now it's interesting, like for us in this production of Foodcaster, we really want to inspire people to not be a foodie. Just I want to eat, and this and that, but really have a relationship with food. What would be your theme or vibration from this book that you want to get across?
Right. So there are the things that involve because my thing is staying healthy and prevention. Apart from food, you have to do your little exercise.
Right.
You need to do that. If it's just walking around the block a few times, you got to keep that body moving. Right. I also believe in meditation a little bit. I even put that in my book where I said, when I first heard of meditation, I tried doing it, and then I find my mind wandering or what have you. And I decided maybe what we did, like when we were younger, every morning your parents woke you up before you go to school. We all knelt down and we say a little prayer before we go to school. And I realized that's what meditation is, where you you forget everything else and you focus on what you want to do and maybe speak to your God, whoever or whatever you call it, your higher power, and you meditate. And they've claimed that works so much because you rest your body. A lot of people have this hypertension going on and all that, and you need that meditation to calm you down, lower your blood pressure, so you can go. So that's another part. Another part I noticed, once I was watching, I think it was PBS or something, and I saw they had where every morning a group of people, I think it was in India, they would go to the park and they would laugh. Yeah, this is amazing. The one person would be in the front, whoever is directing the group, and he starts laughing, and then everybody would laugh. And then he said they do that every morning to get their day starting. Laughter is such a wonderful thing. People today, I don't see people laughing, like belly laugh.
Right.
You don't see that anymore. When you're growing up and you watch something, or you're in school and you want to laugh at something, you laugh and you're falling down laughing. They don't do that anymore. Laughter is so good. Maybe that's why we have hypertension problems, because we don't know how to laugh.
Right. And we take things
we
so
get it.
serious.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes you're better off laughing about it, and next thing you know, you forget about it and you're gone, rather than you want to kill the person.
Right.
If you laugh, you'll find out, that was so stupid. Why was I so worried about that?
Right.
And laughter is another thing that I think you could use to add to all this, the good food, the exercise, laughing, the meditation, things like that, to keep yourself. Because I feel to heal yourself is a combination of things.
Okay.
It can be a pill. It can be just eating right. There's a combination of things that you have to do. You have to have your herbs going on. You have to have maybe your supplements going on, because sometimes the food doesn't provide you with all the nutrients you need to bring you back to that point. So you might have to supplement. You need to do your meditation, a good laughter, and be happy with other people, how to deal with people. That has a lot to do too. You can't be upset for everything in life.
Right.
Upsetting doesn't change it sometimes.
And I guess this would be the good thoughts.
The good thoughts. And you need the good thoughts, and you need the good food.
Need the good thoughts, and need the good food. Now, where could someone pick this up?
It's available at Amazon.com, of course. Yeah, and it's also available at Health Nut in Long Island, in Westbury on Old Country Road. I think it's 92 Old Country Road on Health Nut. It's available there. If you go to my website, I could also send one for somebody. If somebody wants one that they want to purchase, I do that too. I mail to other people. Okay. And my website is goslin.piper.com. www.goslin.piper.com. No A, just Goslin Piper, not A. Why am I putting a dot there? I think I'm at school. www.goslinpiper.com.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on Foodcaster. Please support this book. It's a journey. Do the research. I always tell people, do the research. No one's saying forget your doctors.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for reminding me that. Go to your doctors.
Disclaimer.
Yes, don't forget. We all have to go to your doctors. This is not the end all of everything. Right. Make sure you go to your doctor before you start any kind of program or any kind of eating or lifestyle change. Check with your doctor first, because you may not be qualified to do certain things. So make sure your doctor lets you know what to do and what's not to do.
Well, thank you so much.
I thank you. I appreciate this. Like I said before, thanks for inviting me, and it's been an honor being here. I appreciate a million.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
I'm Michael Seven Michael, and you're watching Foodcaster. Thank you for joining us. Continue your relationship with food and loving, and be the light. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Yeah.